Yes. Good evening, friends. India Fight Backs. Welcome you all. And today we are gonna discuss the all COVID scenario, or more or less like a war-like scenario as India is facing today, and how we all Indian can fight it back, and how India can fight back against COVID-19. With us, a very important panelist, Mr. Lalit Mohan Tyagi, who has been an international scholar, academicians, as well as the advisor to the various organizations, government and non-government. And he can really give us a overall global picture of what really happening in India and how we can really fight back this COVID war. Because the kind of hysteria or the kind of hue and cry which is the country is facing through the various media channel, of course, we cannot deny the ground reality as well. Of course, situation is very scary or dangerous. But end of the day, we all Indian, because it's a huge population, how we can fight it back. That's what exactly we are going to discuss in coming few minutes. Now, I would like to put a very first question to Mr. Tyagi. How you see the whole role of media in last 10 days, if the way the whole scenario or one way or other, the panic situation has came across, where we are seeing the scarcity one way or other, like how this kind of turn around. Because let's say maybe a month ago everything was normal, but do you think like say within few days everything becomes so drastic, and so panicking? What is your view on that?
Thank you, Rajiv ji. See, let me begin with a very important aspect of it, which is taking place through the social media and through the, televisions and other medias. You see, we need to understand that the uninformed population means harmful policies can go unaccountable. So we need to be very careful about it, that if we are talking about COVID on any account, or if we are talking about the failure of the government, that does not mean that we are from the opposition party. No, the fifth pillar of, or the fourth pillar of democracy, as the press is called, if they do not come forth with the real picture for everybody, then, and if they do not, that's their primary responsibility to educate the public, to make the basic facts available to everybody, so that everybody can be educated enough.
Can we defer it like, are they educating? I will put a very straight. Are they really educating, or they are creating a panic button?
They are not educating. They are not educating. See, they are neither creating a panic button or educating the people. They are only trying to give a negative picture. That is not what the media is supposed to do. It is a functioning democracy. It's a functioning democracy. So we have to pave way for a very fantastic, we have to tell the public that what the facts of the cases are, and let them take a judgment. We can give our suggestions, we can give our different alternatives available, but we cannot go for a negative marking at large.
Yeah. Fair enough. Now, as I say, like I want to give you some pictures or some little research which I have done in last 3-4 days.
Yeah.
And where and in fact, a lot of doctors which I have talked to, and the facts which have came across. Let's say in the last 10 days, the kind of oxygen scarcity which is maybe prevailing somewhere in the ground as well, and but at the same time, when we try to get into the root cause of this, like then the most of the doctors like was saying out of only 100%, only like 5 to 10% patient they really need oxygen. But then why this kind of panic is there? Oxygen. Otherwise, we maybe the most of the patient will have a very scary situation, and they may die if the oxygen will not be there. why this kind of scenario has come up, where you feel like the media has failed to give a real education to the people?
You see, the very first thing is that this oxygen situation is happening because of 2, 3 factors, which we can discuss on 3 lines. That number one, that actually the number of cases have gone up. The usage of oxygen which is required is quite high as compared to any given normal time. So automatically the demand far exceeds the supply. We are not ready for that kind of a supply. We are not ready for that kind of a demand. That is one actual situation. Now, number two, the situation is that when such a thing happens, not only for oxygen, for anything in this country, for even say if there is going to be rain, if there is going to be like it happened in Bengal, in Amphan, the people went out and purchased the groceries for 2 months, purchased the vegetables for 15 days. So this is something of a human nature that we do
Yes,
take.
but one thing, Mr. Tyagi, I want to tell you, this is something very criminal, because the hoarding something which you really don't need. Let's say, because I have a statistic from the few cities where the people who are affluent, who can afford, they are sitting with 3 cylinders, 2 cylinders, 5 cylinders. That way, maybe the thousands of cylinders has been hoarded. As a result, what is happening? Maybe that cylinder should be given to the right people for the right uses, and that is not happening.
Mr. Lochan, we are in digital era. That is what I say, that the government has failed miserably on many counts. It is their duty to foresee such a thing. Now, if such a thing is happening, it does not take much time. We are in a digital, we are in digital times. So they could have put a sensor on each cylinder across the country. That is not a very difficult task today. Yesterday it was, but not today. So we could have tracked this, and people know that yes, the oxygen cylinders can be tracked. If I am having 5, people will know it.
I tell you, let's say not cylinder, even there was a question about the FeviFlu also. There was a time about, let's say, FeviFlu again. This is a prescribed medicine, by like until the doctor is not prescribing, because the commonly, let's say, people use paracetamol. But FeviFlu is something which is already prescribed by the doctor. Number one. Second thing, if we take the injection like a remdesivir, like they are talking about, in that case also we see the requirement is not for everybody, requirement for a serious patient. But what happened? The hoarding has started, like people started buying it and holding it, and that way what happened? The genuine patients are really deprived of those which is required.
Exactly, that is what I said, that the general education which should have been given to the public at large by the media or by the government through media, social media or the television media, has not been given. That's exactly what I'm saying. That this is the result of
now onwardly, because we are talking about India fighting back. Now we have to, we should get out of those criticism. Now you don't feel like all media, like you're talking about all pillars. And today the Supreme Court has given a very, very nice view on that. Basically, now as far as the vaccination is concerned, we should come out of the blame game. It's like a national census, like you go door to door and you do the vaccinating instead of blaming whether the state will participate, whether they will not participate, because end of the day, democracy is by the people and for the people. So therefore,
why did we need a court to tell us that? Why did we need a court to tell us that? What is the government doing?
Exactly, because
see, we have to understand again. I'm coming back to the same thing, that free press.
Opposition and the free press is not communicating that, because it is not being communicated, my friend. The time has come up. Forget about everything. Let's come together to fight it out. Let's educate each other. Let's use the facility in the right manner. Okay, let's make the people, because today I was just making a list of things which the media can tell. Media can tell where are the hospitals. Media can tell what can be the first hand treatments. Media can tell where are the oxygen available. Media can tell what are the medicines they can take. And if they have a scarcity, they can go to these helplines. So
see, media can very simply also tell that yes, if you lie down on your stomach and breathe If you
Yes.
take that, Kapoor, if you inhale that particular Kapoor, that itself will work as oxygen. Or, I mean, they
Right.
can take the advice of the Ayurvedic doctors. They would be able to say that these are the things which should be done. But this is not happening. Free press
Yes.
is very critical for a free democratic society. What we
Right.
have is
Right.
not a free press. Either this free press, the freedom is curtailed either by the politicians or by the political parties or even by the the upper 10% class of the country or the business class. Every one of them is curtailing the freedom of the press. So we need to actually work on that we should make the press free, then only they can come out, whether it is the cost of the advertisement which they get, I mean, whatever may be the factors.
So therefore, the first thing we need to accept it we need to accept as a country, not as a party, not as a one pillar, second pillar, third pillar. No, we as a country, we need to accept that we are on the war zone and we all have to fight it together. And we all have to fight it together. We have to use our resources in the best of capacity, whether it's come in the form of knowledge, whether it's a form of education, or whether it's a form of other resources which is available. And we
Absolutely.
have to go hand in hand to make it a real success story. Therefore, now as on the finishing line, we are coming up to take on, like Mr. Tyagi, what will be your final advice, let's say putting into the 3 points you want to give to the country from your side to fight against this COVID-19?
Number one is that government has to be proactive. Government has to foresee this. If I and you can discuss this, then they should be the first to discuss this and take steps. Number one. Number two, that the power and influence, both influence of whatever nature, power of whatever nature, they will always control media. The question is, the fight has to be continuously there, that how much freedom, maximum freedom we can provide media from the power and influence of various factors. This is a very, very necessary thing. Number three, the public at large has to be educated. They have to be told. You see, for being educated, the public may not be literate. Literacy is not the factor here. The factor is education. The person should know, whether by way of voice or by reading or by whatever methodology, they should know that what are the facts, how can we save ourselves from corona, and what are the steps necessary. So that education should start right from now, not a single another second to be wasted, so that the people do not get really worried. If I am worried, if you are worried, we will take our precautionary steps, which may be having an oxygen cylinder, which may be having more medicines, which may be having more your general provisions of the household, whatever it may be. So let us be very, very sure that we educate public. This is necessary, very necessary. Thank you.
Okay, that's a very, it's a positive note. Now we can really put it on the final words, like we accept the fact, yes, we all are fighting against COVID-19 and we all should come together and we should stand by whatever the head of our state, our prime minister. This is a war and we all are with him to win this war. On this note, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.